Welcome back. Dale Myers with Vision Advanced. Today we're going to discuss how to talk to customers. Which step is leaking money from my business? Because there is a leak. None of us are flawless when it comes to sales. And there is a right way to do it and lots of wrong ways. There are like 7 steps to the sales cycle, but we're going to condense this thing down into 4 things that you must do. All right. And so when you're having conversations with your customers, your prospects, in our conversations, we are often either not holding their attention, causing them to lose interest, not creating the right desire in them, and then missing the call to action. And so I said that specifically for a reason. Attention, interest, desire, and action. These are the 4 concepts that we have to pay attention to. So again, I'm guilty of sometimes falling into this rut. Before I learned this process, I was kind of like a lot of you. I was just an entrepreneur selling his wares, talking about how good I was, or probably somewhat talking more about features and the benefits. But I was also just talking instead of asking questions, doing a lot of telling instead of asking questions. So some common mistakes that we make. And again, yours truly, I've done it, and I'll sometimes do it again. Talk too much. This has a couple of effects. When we talk, the customer may start to realize, like, okay, this dude, he doesn't really know me. He's not asking me anything. He's not really concerned about my interests, right? So you can, and also they could feel like, okay, is this some kind of interrogation, right? So ask your question, but it's a conversation. It's not, you just grilling them. You tell them instead of asking questions. Sometimes you jump right into telling about your features and your benefits instead of asking questions to find out which of this is most important to them. How do your clients, how do you use this product or service? What do you like about it the most? And what made you purchase this other product? Get information. Start asking questions. Let's see, something else we do. We don't have our questions prepared in advance, meaning those 4 steps I talked about before: attention, interest, desire, and action. We should have questions that steer them in that particular direction. More on that later. Asking the wrong questions. Yeah, we'll touch on that soon. You don't speak with confidence. You come in and poor posture. You just don't look the part. Be a wolf. A wolf that's gonna eat tonight. So again, just be confident. Let's see. You aren't passionate, and this is sort of related to the confidence, but you're not passionate about the product. It is hard to sell a product that you are not passionate about. All right. Sometimes I say that you talk too much, but you might talk too little, and let the buyer dictate the conversation. He who is asking the questions is dictating the conversation. That's why you need to have your questions prepared in advance. Steer the conversation in the direction that you want it to go, to gather information or just to send it down a particular path. Another thing you do is maybe you don't focus on the benefits enough. The benefits are what's important to the customer. Features are important too, but what's in it for me? Customers are selfish. They want to know what's in it for me. And if you don't do that, this leads to a price discussion way too early. Because if they don't know what's special about yours, you're just another product or service. You've just allowed yourself to be commoditized, and that is not a good thing unless your goal is to be the low-cost provider. Okay? And then this one is huge. You don't prepare for objections in advance. The customers have their guard up. So you should have a list of the top objections. Be prepared. They're coming. All right? So again, I've made all of these mistakes too. Getting the laptop to go down here. So where are we going to do now? So the first thing that I would say, in order to really when we're talking to customers, if we want to increase our closure rate, because this is what drives our profits, drives our business. We have to get more satisfied customers. We have to close them, right? So the first thing is be prepared. Remember, I just talked about objections. So the step one is to be prepared. Anticipate objections. Product knowledge is a must. It's not as critical as some of the other things, but you must know your knowledge. And know how your product fits within the marketplace. If you're not the finest of the finest, don't pretend to be. Know where you fit within the marketplace, because there are customers that aren't trying to get the cream of the crop. There are customers that's trying to be right there in the middle. So again, this is about knowing who your customer is, but know where you fit within the marketplace. Another thing here, smile. This is all related to kind of being prepared. Actually, this will be a separate step. Smile. There's this thing called mirroring. Customers will mirror what you give to them. If you smile, they'll often smile. You nod your head, they'll nod their head. So just smiling kind of puts everyone at ease, right? And that's about also being likable. Remember, people do business with those that they like. So be likable. If you don't enjoy people, you're probably not a good fit for sales, which means you're probably not going to be a great entrepreneur unless you hire your partner is great at sales, or you're lucky or fortunate enough to hire great salespeople. And by the way, this mirroring, this smiling thing works over the phone too, guys. Just smile through the phone and you sound different. It affects your tone of voice. And that's step number 2. Be conscious. Actually, step number 3. Number 2 was smile and be likable. My computer made a mistake. That's why I made a mistake. Smile and be likable. Number 3 is be conscious of your tone. When you smile, you see what I did? I smile. You see how my tone changed? So this is also why I said it works over the phone too. All right. A little tip there. And then body language. Let your body language, your posture say something about you. Remember, mirroring. People mimic what they see. So just kind of keep that in mind. All of these things we've talked about thus far have been about building rapport, getting the customer to like you. Remember, if they're going to do business with you, you have a greater chance if they like you, if they find you likable. And it helps us, and we're going to, along the way to building rapport, we want to ask questions that kind of just get them to ease, I wouldn't say drop their guard, but just to become comfortable with you. They could be related or not related questions, but just, hey, how long have you been in this business? Just get them having a conversation. And by the way, the more times they say yes to other things, doesn't have to be related to your product or service, but the more times they say yes in a conversation, your chance of closing goes up. But we'll talk about that. That's the psychology of selling thing. We'll talk about that another time. So building rapport, that's step number 5. Now, related to that, ask questions that get their attention. Would you be interested in or would it change your business to get an increase of 20% or more in sales over the next year? Of course it would. Or in my tutoring and test prep, would it benefit your child to become more disciplined in his approach to classroom and athletics? Of course the parent's going to say yes, they will benefit, right? But I got their attention. Oh, you could do that for my child? Yes, I can. So how could you do that? That's what they're thinking. Now they're thinking, how could I do that? And that gets me to so step 1 was attention. Step 2 is interest. So now we're going to ask questions that give us ask questions and make comments that give us a better understanding of what they feel is important. How would they utilize the product or service? Those kind of things. What's important and why? What's important and why is what you're trying to find out here. All right. That's going to hold their interest. Get them talking about what's important to them. Well, tell me about what was your son like in school this past year? What were some things that he struggled with? Can you tell me what were the biggest downfalls in your sales cycle this year? What did you guys struggle with? Get them talking about their pain points. And what are some targets that you're searching for this year? What are your goals? Again, the more they tell you about their challenges and their opportunities, now I know what specific features and benefits more directly apply to them. So we're now in the interest phase here. So now that they've told me a little bit more, if I could, you're going to ask questions like, well, if I could show you a product or a process that could take your child, teach him, give him discipline, give him a framework that he could apply not only in his math class, but to other classes, and therefore improve his grades, do you think that would increase his confidence? How would that make you feel? So if I could questions, if I could show you, how would that make you feel? Feelings, you remember, emotions are, purchases are emotional. Get them talking and thinking about feelings. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. So again, this is about that desire. If we do this right, we got them talking about what's important and why. And now we're touching on the benefits of how our product, we now have them visualizing using our product or service. It's in their mind. Now we're almost there. Okay. So ask questions to reiterate how they'd be better after using our product or service. And then tell them or show them exactly how our product or service would benefit them. This again is the desire phase. If we do this right, they are literally asking us, where can they sign for it? I'm ready to sign up right now. Wow, I'm excited. Now along the way,